Good day, all stock market traders and stock market investors. This is Total Investor, the YouTube channel that looks at technical analysis regarding stocks, commodities, and cryptos. So what we do is that we look at chart patterns that are either bullish or bearish, and I bring them to your attention, and I describe them to you, what we look for, technical analysts, to put through a trade, which again could be either a buy or a sell, and explain to you why that is. Okay, today I've got 6 particular stocks that I think should at very least go on your watch list. And please keep in mind that everything I tell you today and every day should be for educational purposes only, should not be thought of as financial advice. And do you and me one big favor: subscribe to this channel. Okay, it's very easy to do. Click the subscribe button and YouTube will notify you whenever a new video is posted. Okay. Also, if you can, big thumbs up and a comment if you can. Let's go through this, and please watch all the video from beginning to end. The very first stock that I bring to your attention is Byrna Technologies, BYRN. This stock has been in a downtrend. Now, the chart only goes back 6 months, but it's been in a downtrend for longer than that, as shown by the 2 moving averages, the 10-day and the 50-day moving average. They are both sloping downwards. Back in mid-July, where we had a recent high, that's where I drew the initial downtrend line. Okay, it fell after that. It touched the downtrend line from back in early September all the way through for several weeks, then crashed again, and just on Friday we broke through that level. Okay, the downtrend line. So that is one big plus going for this particular stock. Now, did we know that it was going to break? Well, I mean, here is some kind of evidence up above here on the RSI. That too is sloping downwards. It broke on Friday as well, so we got confirmation of that. There were 2 nice volume days, Thursday and Friday, so that's a big plus. The stock is above the 10-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. That's another big plus. So it's got everything going for it. Watch this stock, BYRN. Okay. Next is Comtech Telecom Company, CMTL. This is an intermediate term chart. It's 3 years. Okay. Sometimes charts look better on the intermediate term than they do in the short term. You get to see more data. What we have is a stock coming down from its high back in November of 21. Okay, I drew a downtrend line where it hit the next levels back in February of 23 of this year, and we just touched it on Friday, or this week I should say. So we're almost there on the breaking of that level, but I also want to bring to your attention the low that it made back in the summer of 22 and continued all the way down. It almost touched it again 3 times. Did touch it just recently. So as you can see, it is a lower low. But looking up here, the RSI sloping upwards and the lows are higher. So that's our bullish divergence. Okay, it gives us an indication that there's a strong possibility that the stock could be bottoming, or at least a change in trend. Okay, so it could be moving sideways, but possibly or most likely moving upwards, at least initially. Okay, the stocks again is just touching the downtrend line, so it has not crossed it as of yet. It is above the short-term moving average, not above the intermediate-term moving average. So it's going to take a little while for that. But we did get some good volume on this week. And finally, the RSI did break above 50, so looking very, very good. CMTL. Next, VanEck Gold Miners ETF, GDX. I did bring this to your attention. I believe it was earlier in the week, or maybe it was last week, at much lower prices. It did break through that resistance level, which was previously support here at just above 27. I think it's 27.20 or 27.25, give or take. So it broke above that. It had a really good week above the 10-day, above the 50-day, and it even broke this downtrend line. Okay, so a lot going for it. Even like the RSI is above 50. Now, sometimes when a stock or an index moves up this quickly, that fast, that much, sometimes you'll get like a little bit of a pullback. But I do think that this thing does offer potential intermediate term, and that we might finally be turning around on the gold mining sector. Okay, and of course this is the ETF, lots of volume going through. Rather than picking an individual stock, I guess this would be like a safer bet to be playing. And I did mention to you before, and I will tell you again, I do own this ETF. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Next, Pan American Silver, PAAS. This too is a 3-year chart. Okay, I'd like to just bring to your attention, just going back about a year and a half, made a high in April of 22, and I drew a downtrend line. It broke this level early August. Okay, so that was a big plus. Also, that I drew here the lows that it made straight across. I believe that's like 1350, give or take. So we've got straight across or even slightly lower, but above here, showing the RSI. The RSI is trending upwards, had the low and higher lows up here. So that is a bullish divergence. That's what you want to see if you're looking for a bottom. And I think that that's what we have. The RSI is still not above 50. Give it time. It does need to break. Although it broke one trend line, we've got another trend line that I drew down here that it needs to break. It will also go through the 10 and the 50-day, or the short-term and the intermediate-term RSIs once it does that. So we're not quite ready for prime time as of yet on this particular stock, but follow it. If and when it turns and moves higher, it should be a nice percentage mover. Okay, going back to here, 14 to 20, 28, 30, there's a double, and there's no reason why several years out it can't be a triple. Okay, again, it does need work. Okay, please keep that in mind. PAAS. SBA Communications. This is going back to, well, it looks like it's only 6 months, but this too is also on a longer downtrend line, as evidenced by the downtrend line here that I drew, and also the moving averages sloping downwards. Okay, so this one does need work, but I'm showing it to you because I think that it is, could be forming a bottom. It is above the 10-day. Doesn't need too much to get breaking through the downtrend line or above the 50-day, and we're not that far away from the 50 on the RSI. So if you're patient and you're willing to put this on your list for maybe a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, we could get a nice mover here. Again, 6 months ago it was at 260, and then it dropped down to 200 or even lower. So if it gets back up there in the same time frame, it's a decent percentage mover. But again, a lot of work that needs to be done on this one. Okay, SBAC. And finally, the last one, the Hanover Insurance Group, THG, straight across here at 116. The stock fell, hit a bounce, and that was the support. Touched it several times, hit support again. Finally, it broke through support, and guess what? Touched it again to confirm it is now resistance level. Touched it several times, and then again back in early August, and then it confirmed the level of resistance. Then almost there this time at early September. And it looks like we might be getting another chance at testing resistance. Will it break this time? Well, we've got some good news in terms of the moving averages. They're no longer sloping downwards. The stock is above the 10-day and the 50-day moving average. So that should help it, maybe some bullish bias there. And look at the RSI. The RSI is sloping upwards. It's now above the 50-day, above the trend line. We're at 64. So probably not too much to test this level again, and then we should have a breakout. Maybe it'll come back and touch it and become support, which often happens If that does happen, well, there's your opportunity to get in. Okay, as always, everything is risky, especially now with the market going, up, down, up, down. I'm not sure if it knows what it wants to do, but there is always going to be risk, and especially now with great uncertainty, especially when it comes to interest rates. So that is the 6 stocks that I bring to your attention for now. Please, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any comments, I'd love to hear what you've got to say. And we'll just go from there. Okay, so we'll leave it at that, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.